Yes, what is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 36 of the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. I'm number 1J, that's number 2J, and we are back with episode 36, Jonathan Major's favorite new podcast, and Justin just went offline, and I don't know why. I think he just dropped. But anyway, this is the show where we give you your weekly dose of everything your father should have taught you but didn't. And I don't know what's going on with Justin. He'll come in and out as he can, I guess. I'm not sure what happened there. We got Jay Blaze up in the chat. What up, Jay Blaze? Always our number one supporter. Shout out to him. And today, we are talking about monogamy and what it means to be traditional. Yes, I can barely hear you, Justin. You're very, very broken up.
That's right.
Yeah, you're breaking up really bad.
Anyone can hear me out there tonight? We are.
Justin, you're breaking up really bad, brother. Let's wait for your connection to get a little bit better. But yeah, Ronnie says you referred to yourself as number 1J too many times, so he left. Yeah, that's probably true. But hey, the sign says so, not me. I didn't put the sign up, so I don't know what's going on. Jay Blaze says Jonathan Major's trial is in August. Yes, and from the looks of it, I'm the type of guy, I like to wait till all the evidence comes out and the thing goes to trial. I'm not a fan of the court of public opinion. But what it looks like is this guy's getting majorly screwed by this DA. Like, it is bad. Like, all the evidence points to Jonathan Majors being innocent, and the DA still won't drop the case, probably because he's famous and it's a high-profile thing. But all the evidence seems to point to Jonathan Majors actually being the victim in this case, not the assailant, if we can put it that way. Yeah, Loki season 2 is releasing at that time too. So, and you know what? I make a lot of fun of Disney and Marvel for being so woke, but honestly, shout out to them because I thought they were going to drop him the second those allegations came out, and they haven't stood by him, but they haven't done anything, which is better than jumping to conclusions. So, maybe Marvel's being a little less woke in that regard. Justin, do we have you back, brother?
Yes, I'm back, brother. Sorry for the technical difficulties on my end.
Happens to the best of us, bro. Happens to the best of us. Yeah, Jay Blaze, you're right. It would be very hard for them to drop him because they've invested so much in him at this point. I don't know, Justin, if you're into superhero movie stuff, but Disney has invested so much into Jonathan Majors being the villain for like the next so many years that they can't just flat out and drop him. So, yeah, he is in Loki season 2. But anyway, we're not here to talk about superhero movies today. I'm actually thinking about starting another podcast about Marvel movies, but that's a different story. We'll talk about that another day. But Justin, you picked our topic today. We're talking about monogamy and what it means to be traditional. So why don't you tell us why you picked this?
As usual, we're always trying to come up with new topics for you guys, and I just thought it was an issue we haven't really touched on too much, but I keep saying there's a lot of things popping up on the internet and YouTube about what it is to be traditional, and trad wives and trad husbands, and
Sure.
It became like a term, trad. And it's
let me ask you something on this topic, specifically about monogamy. I'm interested to know where you fall on this. Is monogamy our natural state, or is it a social construct?
I definitely agree with the idea that it's a social construct.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I am too. I don't think instinctively neither men nor women are meant to be, or were born to be monogamous as an instinctual matter. I think it definitely is a social construct, as our traditional values, of course.
I agree. But in, following, for those that don't know, I'm a follower of Christ. I believe in God and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. So, following the word of God, I believe in monogamy and being traditional if entering marriage.
Well, here's the thing. Let's talk about actual marriage. When it comes to monogamy, you should be monogamous if for no other reason that it's illegal to be polygamous. So let's just leave it at that. As a legal matter, don't marry more than one woman. Let's just say that.
I agree. Isn't one enough to handle?
You would think so, yeah. I mean, I don't know how Muslim men do it or Mormons. I don't know. I just don't know.
So what's your take on it?
Like I said, I think it's definitely a societal construct. Biologically, I don't think men nor women are meant to be monogamous. Women are hypergamous by nature. We all know that, and men are biologically predisposed to spread their seed to as far as they can. So, yeah,
I would say
from a biological perspective, yeah, no, we're not meant to be monogamous. It's a social construct.
I would say on like an animalistic level, I mean, I could compare it to like the lions.
Sure.
The strongest, most alpha lion is going to get all the female lionesses.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's only penguins that mate for life, right?
I'm not sure if it's just penguins, but that happens to be one that I'm
I could
positive
very
of.
well be wrong. I don't know if Ronnie or Jay Blaze wants to Google it real quick, but I think penguins are the only animal that's monogamous.
It's pretty interesting that they do that for life. I wonder what
Yeah.
their lifespan is.
I couldn't tell you.
So, but going back to traditionalism and the idea of having like the traditional America
Mhm.
for those, and I'm not even saying this in like a red kind of support, but like for those that refer to making America great, they're referring back to a time where I think it's mostly our grandparents and great grandparents were really just benefiting from life. They were coming back from the war and they came up in a time where men can support the household and the wives stayed at home
It
and
was
they
much
made the
easier to
home.
support. It was much easier to support the household on, say, a factory worker salary. Straight
Correct.
out of high school, you could go into a factory, support your family of four, buy a house, etc., and live relatively a comfortable life. That's not necessarily the case anymore. Ronnie says monogamy. I think monogamy in society is necessary, though. And it helps molding your character in more aspects than one. Jay Blaze says, "I was watching Chickens, bro. They're wild dynamics of chickens and rooster harems. Okay, they're vicious little bastards. The values of the
Would
country
you?
are based on the values of their women." That's an interesting point. So, I think I'm gonna actually agree with this. That's the comment of the show so far. Not this show. I mean, of
Okay,
all the
well,
shows. That's a
if
good
you
one.
look back into the 40s and 50s and look at those homemaker women, wouldn't you say that we were better off as a society? There was a
Yeah,
natural order to things.
I agree. I think so. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. As a society as a whole, yes, I think we were better off.
Don't you believe that children were in better shape and better positions to become like good members, good functioning members of society?
Absolutely, and it's proven by today's statistics. Children grow up better in homes where there's a father present, in two-parent homes, and even when it comes to a single parent, children with fathers do better than children with single mothers.
I did see that. That's an
Ronnie
interesting fact.
Ronnie tells us that more than 90% of birds are monogamous. That's an interesting stat. I did not see that. He also says, my grandfather raised 7 kids and a wife on an average income. Yeah, that's not doable anymore. You can't just go be a factory worker, even if you're working 12, 14, 16-hour days and support your family in a comfortable way. That's really not doable anymore. At least not in the East Coast. I mean, maybe in a place like Texas or I don't know what it's like in Wisconsin, Ohio, those places, Midwest, but definitely
So
not in modern America, I don't think.
this comes to modern day now, and there's an issue out there where women are looking at men to play those traditional roles. They want a man to fully support them and fully support the household. And I'm generalizing, guys.
Yeah.
For any women that are watching, this is generalizing. Not all women out there are like this. This is very hypergamous women, but they want, they want it all. They want their cake and they want to eat it. They want the
I,
traditional man, but they're not willing to be traditional women.
and I would say that's actually the majority of women. And you hit it right on the head. And there's nothing wrong with them wanting a man to be traditional and to fulfill that traditionally masculine role. The problem is you got to be able to play the traditionally feminine role. And when they're not
Agree.
willing to do that, then that's when the issues start. Jay Blaze says it right here. Modern women today find cheating men attractive. That's sad but true. Stable men today are considered boring. 100% true. If you're a
Sad but
stable
true.
guy, a nice guy, and you have your job, you do your thing. If you're boring, you're boring, and that's not attractive to today's women. Let's go through these last couple comments here, then we'll get into the reaction videos. We have a couple of shorts to go over. In the 60s and 70s, men could go into the military for 4 years, come out with a GI Bill, get home and a family. Absolutely. Absolutely. Today, I would say going into the military, you can support a family. You absolutely can, because the military is actually considering allowances for housing and food. The military is actually not badly paid.
What happens when you get out?
That's the thing. What happens when you get out? Now the military and the VA have a lot more programs, but society in the civilian world is a whole lot more competitive than it used to be. Like, for example, I was a combat medic. Medically speaking, I could do anything that a PA could do, which a PA makes damn good money. But I wasn't certified at that level. I was certified at an EMT basic level on the civilian side. So if I got out of the military as a combat medic and I went to work as an EMT, there's no way I can support a family on an EMT salary. Just no way. It's impossible. Ronnie says, back in the day when men cheated, women trying to get payback to show their strength by staying faithful and holding their family unit together. That's how they would show strength. Today, they go and they try to get him back. They try to get revenge.
Instead of cheating, it's funny because it's almost like a parent not scolding you or punishing you for something that they're disappointed in, and them actually telling you that they're disappointed. It's like a smack in the face. Back in the day, if a man cheated on a woman, everyone around that woman knew, and the men just had to live in that shame.
Yeah, Justin, you're starting to break up again, buddy, or you just came back. Okay, there you are. All right, so let's. Robbie says, "Hi, I'm stable." Pickup line of the century, right there. Oh, that's great. All right, let's get into these YouTube shorts that we're gonna go over. There's a few videos here that Justin picked out and procured and curated for us.
Yeah, Ronnie, you should come on the show and talk about this, bro. I know you have a lot to say on the topic. If you're interested in talking, or even Jay Blaze, if you guys want to talk on the subject with us.
Yeah, if you guys want in, Ronnie, you can text Justin for the link. Jay Blaze, hit me up on IG. I'll send you the link. All right, let's go over this first one. I believe this is Pearl. Pearl. All right, let's go. Wait, I can't hear it. Where's the audio?
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
The family before me. Traditional women believe that family and legacy is more important than their own personal happiness. If you don't believe this, then you are not a traditional woman. You have a modern mindset because you believe that your happiness is above the family's. So if you're not happy in a marriage and you leave, that's a modern mindset. Traditional women, they're like ride or die, stick and thin. Real traditional women, if you Google it, the family. Traditional women believe that family and legacy is more.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that one bit. There's really not a lot to dissect there. I think she's absolutely right. Actually, Andrew Tate, let me give me 1 second here. Andrew Tate had a very poignant point about this. I want to say a couple years ago on the Fresh and Fit podcast, I think it was, where he said when a woman gets, old and let's say she's into her 90s, she's not going to be judged on her career. She's not going to be judged on how much money she made. how many followers she has. She's going to be judged by that
Achievements.
family that's sitting there around her. You know, more. I don't want to say she died, but the family that's sitting there around her at her dinner table, all those children, those grandchildren. That's what she's going to be judged by. A woman's family legacy is far more important. Not that a man's isn't important, but a man will be judged more on his career achievements, how well he was able to provide for his family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A woman will be judged on how much of a home she made for her children and her grandchildren. Am I
I
wrong?
feel like no, I feel like that's the most powerful role. Like women say that we run the world, that men are running the world, and we have all the power. Like they really forget that they create every person. Okay, yes, men, we build everything, but they create the people that build everything. Like,
Yeah, and you know, if you're having trouble seeing the point, look at your grandmother. Okay, how many people have asked their grandmothers about their careers? No, I don't think many people have. They've asked them about their relationship, how they've traveled, how they raised their kids, how they built a home, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You don't sit there and you look at your grandmother thinking, man, she was a career woman. You don't. You simply don't.
no,
The
absolutely
cases that
not.
you would do that are very few and far between. If
Hey,
you
Joel,
do, as a viewer, you're the exception. Yes.
I just text you Ronnie's phone number. Can you text him the link?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ronnie.
Let's
Joel's
see.
going to text you the link right now.
I am texting Ronnie the link right now. Ronnie's going to join us. We're going to hear what Ronnie has to say while he logs on. Ronnie, I just sent it to you. Let's look at the next video.
Ronnie's got really good stories on this because he comes from a traditional family and he's got to see that firsthand, and it's pretty awesome because I got to witness it as well.
Yeah.
And you know, I got to witness it with my grandparents, and it's an amazing thing, man. I really wish
I consider
that things would revert to that way.
Yeah, I consider myself lucky to have also grown up in a traditional household. All right, let's look at this next video here. Where am I? Can you see it?
Yeah.
There we go. All right, here we go.
Right? The average guy today, his granddad had to put in a quarter of the work to get the kind of woman that is 4 times as amazing as the woman. Was an amazing woman, and his granddad really didn't have to do the kind of work he has to do right now.
So you're talking about hoflation.
Yes, totally.
Hoflation. So modern men have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers did for women 20 times worse than what their grandmothers were.
100%.
What do you think about that?
100%. 100%. I mean,
dude, it's insane. So I think
sucks to say
I preach it to women out there.
Yeah, women are worse today. They just are. All right, let's bring on Ronnie, see what he's got to say about that. I don't know if he was able to watch that video, but here we go. Ronnie, how you doing, my friend?
Yo.
What's up?
What do you say to this? Is monogamy our natural state, or is it more of a social construct? I think he's breaking up pretty good.
Yeah, I might be having an internet problem.
Yeah, we do it live, guys. We do it live.
Yes,
Ronnie, see if you can get to. Okay, wait. There we go. We got him. I think.
I'm in.
There you are.
Yeah. So.
Welcome back, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just taking the dog for a walk.
Hey, look at the puppy.
Yeah, man. It's a good topic. I like this one.
So, Ronnie, tell them a little bit about your grandparents and how it was watching them grow up traditional.
Yeah, no, I come from a very strong family. Like, I have my grandfather who was married to my grandmother. She was 16. He was 18 when they got married. And I have all my aunts and uncles that stayed married throughout their lives. And I've got to watch a lot of good examples of, like, you know, it's not always perfect. And I think with society today, you know, it's built for convenience, which hinders us in a lot of ways. So even with the dating apps and all, when things get too tough, people just want to leave. And
I was just,
you know, relationships are hard. And when you stick it out and you're there for your partner, it shows a lot about your character. And what real love is. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, you know?
I was just gonna pose that question to both of you guys. Relationships. It seems like back in we say back in the day, but yeah, back in the day, when the marriage had an issue, they worked through it. However, it is that couple found a way to work through it. Today, it feels like one fight and it's done.
There's more appreciation for the relationship and for life in that aspect, I believe, you know?
Right? When you both are doing different things for the household, I think that appreciation builds up a lot more.
You
When
were
the
talking
man's
about what your
playing a role,
grandmother's job was. My grandmother's job, like, it was to raise a family. And we had so many family events and gatherings throughout my whole life. Like, I look back on my childhood, I grew up with all my cousins, all my aunts and uncles. And that's the point of life, I believe. You know, it's like these are the payoffs of being able to have these things. Instead of your mom going to the club every night and dropping you off with the grandma and running out on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
And not only that, women in the family keep the family close.
absolutely.
look at your grandmother on your mother's side.
Yeah. Dude, my grandma has 4 kids, and
They all
know,
love each other.
dude, we spend a lot of time with each other, and it's
You
great.
hang out
I
with
mean,
your aunt all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are great things.
you know, it's
These things are priceless. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The people today want everything materialized, and it's like, yo, those things diminish very quickly.
Yeah, I think
So how
people
do
are
you
too
guys?
fast. I think couples today are way too quick to take one fight, blow it out of proportion, and all of a sudden think they need marriage counseling, which we all know is a trap for men. And it devolved from there. If you have to go to marriage counseling, just get divorced. At that point, it's over in today's world. Okay, couples back then were far more likely, or traditional couples today are far more likely to find solutions within their marriage by themselves, and figure out a way to work out their own problems.
Do you guys think the dating scene would get better if people would do like a little bit more research on being more traditional? And
The thing, maybe not. The thing is, especially with high value men and most women, we live in an era of instant gratification.
Yeah, we live in a
Everybody's,
very fast-paced
yeah,
life.
I
but do
mean,
you guys think that because I feel like there's an uptick and it's trending. Trad wives are beginning to trend.
I don't even know what that is.
So
yeah.
traditional wives, they've coined
So
it trad wives.
I'm not really sure it's starting to trend, Justin. I think it's more of a trend for red pill audiences. I think the Instagram and YouTube algorithms play to that we watch these sort of videos and they show us these sort of girls. And I think most of these girls are probably playing to an audience. That's my
But
initial instinct.
I'm just saying, do you think that there's any possibility where it could actually trend to a point where people actually start like acting that way?
Sure, absolutely. It
It'd
can
be
very well
interesting.
get better. It can very well
I
get
mean,
better.
bro, everybody jumped on the ice bucket challenge. Why not jump on the traditional wife challenge?
Because
Like,
it's a lot harder.
I didn't
Because
jump
it's a
on the
lot.
planking challenge.
It's a lot harder not to go to the club every Friday than it is to just dump a bucket of ice water on yourself.
Well, you know what it is too. I think we play a major part in it too. Like running through women and
Yeah.
like we stirred the pot very
You know
much
what?
so.
I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna be I don't know. It might get me canceled, but I think we really need to lean into as men. We need to lean into and do a lot more slut shaming,
Yeah, I mean,
especially high value men.
yeah. Well, that's where it would start if the high value men would stop running around.
Yeah, take the leadership role and start saying, "No, you look nasty as the club. I'm not hitting that."
bro,
Like growing up though, like my grandfather, like I could see he adored my grandmother. Like it wasn't even a question whether he was stepping out of his relationship.
Right.
And I know that they argued and they fought, but like you could see like the genuine love that they had for each other. And I feel like that's really lost in a lot, like in 90% of society.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't think that it really exists.
It's
anymore.
actually sad, really.
I honestly, when I was talking about, Trump's slogan was "Make America Great," and I was just saying
Mhm.
how I think it's referring to a certain time in America. I'm not trying to be
Yes.
political. I'm just saying a certain time in America.
No,
And
absolutely.
I think that when they refer to "Make America Great," I think that they're referring to that time. And I feel like if things were to change and get a little bit more traditional these days, it could actually become great again.
Yeah, but I think they were more traditional also because the times were harder. They needed to stick by each other. You know what I mean? It's like tough times made tough people, and it was like,
the challenges were a lot greater back then. Today,
Yeah.
I mean, in recent years,
with greater challenges, though, is a greater reward.
exactly. And our greatest challenge of this generation has been they had to stay home for a year.
Yeah.
What do you
know?
think
That
would
was too
happen?
difficult.
So there's already, don't cancel me for this. Whoever's watching, let me know.
I canceled.
Yep, he got canceled.
What if they were to flip? What if they were to like flip everything and be like, you know what? Frick the pay gap. We're gonna extend the pay gap and give men way more so that men now have the option to support a family.
You know what? Everybody,
like 2020 again.
no, I disagree. I think most women would be like, okay, and just go find themselves a man.
Do you think that might work?
Maybe.
I don't know.
it's
I don't know
possible.
if I think the radical feminists would be very loud about it, and I think the media would play into their concerns, and in that regard, yeah, it might be a bit of somewhat scandalous, but I think most people would be fine with it.
Guys, the three of us right here, we're blue collar workers. If you guys could afford to 100% take care of your woman, would you allow her to work? Or not even allow her? I'm not trying to sound controlling. Would you want her to work?
No, absolutely
Right.
not. I don't want my woman to work.
So honestly, I think that might be a solution right there.
Maybe
Give the men more money.
Yeah, let's pay men more.
Let's pay
Starting
men
immediately.
more. Hey, where's Jay Blaze? I want to see what he thinks about that.
Jay Blaze, should we open up the pay gap instead of closing it?
Open it up. Widen it up.
Widen it out. Actually, there's studies and all kinds of things that say when it comes to equal work, actually women are making more than men now.
It's crazy though because living on the East Coast, I'm sure it's like New York, New Jersey. I'm sure it's same with Miami. Making $100,000 today is like you're barely getting by.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100 grand in Miami is nothing.
Dude, I finally hit that bracket and I'm like, dude, where's it all going?
I ask
Daily
myself that question every month. Where the hell is it going? All right, should we get to the next video here?
Yep.
Yeah, check it out.
The next short. Let's look at it. Let's see here. The next one is this one. Right here. All right. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
For women to get jobs. Why? Why did we do that? I am so tired. I want to just put my feet up. Like I am. Oh my god.
What in
Hold
the
on,
world was
it's
that?
still going.
Man, everybody like puts her up on a pedestal. She ruined it for all of us. Somebody said we drown so CEO boss babes can swim. Somebody else said, bro, I was literally talking about this today. Like they are going on the list with Eve. Right. Like at the moment, I'd rather be a stay-at-home mom and do chores. Yeah, well, shocker. That's what we're kind of designed to do, honey.
Whoever thought.
That's
Dude.
fantastic.
There's a lot of women out there that are like this. Dude, I told you, I've said it on an episode before. Ronnie knows my ex used to say that. She's like, I couldn't believe she said this, but she was like, man, women messed up, bro. We had it good. And then they decided that they wanted to go to work. I could have been chilling with a glass of wine, just cooking. I love cooking. I could have cooked and kept the house clean.
It's true. And what she says is absolutely right. Susan B. Anthony and Margaret Sanger ruined women. Those two women alone are responsible for the mess we have now.
You know what's crazy is we're gonna sound like misogynists for this.
That's my
Anyway.
favorite emoji. Like this one. The guy goes like this.
Seriously.
You know what it is too, though. Social media has like
Well,
not
what's
only
that?
women, but men and women like totally living in a fantasy world, and they think it. You know, life's supposed to just be filled with vacations, and like everybody's supposed to work remote and like be able to just travel the world all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of social media, guys, make sure you follow us on Instagram at JJ Dating Dynamics, because this is episode 36 of the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. I'm number 1J. Way down at the bottom there, we have number 2J, and in the middle, we got our boy Ronnie.
Number
joining
one.
us to talk. Number one, Ronnie, joining us to talk about about monogamy and traditional women and men. All right.
Do we have another video, or did you want to keep chatting?
We have other videos here. Hang on, let me look through this real quick. We did that one, we did that one, we did this one. Let's look at this one. Yeah. And guys, so you know, as always, these are live reactions. I haven't seen these videos. Justin hasn't seen these videos. They get
Ronnie
recommended
hasn't
to
seen
us.
them.
Ronnie hasn't
I
seen them.
definitely
They get recommended to us by you, the community, and we find them interesting. So here we go. Let me bring this one up. Nope. 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 Yep. Okay. Here we go. What it takes to be a traditional man.
Traditional in a sense, it means I want to be courted. I want to know. I want to. This is what they mean. I want to be courted like a traditional woman, even though I'm not one, because I'm not a virgin. I'm not married before 25. I don't have a cookbook. Oh, but I cook 1 to 2 times a week. So yeah, I'm traditional now. I'm like, I swear to God, if you had a conversation with the actual real traditional women, oh my God, and I've been talking to them for this wife school. Oh my God, they run circles around us. They make all their meals from scratch. They've been raising kids and in a kids situations where they're in charge of children since they're like 16. They've been either babysitting. This woman had 10 foster kids. Wow. That's a real traditional woman. She's growing her garden in the backyard. I'm like, I already know.
Yeah, so true. You know, probably the best example of a traditional woman that I have around me today is my sister. I mean, bless her heart, that girl was born to be a mother.
Want to blow us up?
Oh, yeah, my bad. Let's do that. So, yeah, my sister's the best example I have of a traditional woman right now. She cooks pretty much every meal from scratch, takes the kids to school every day, cleans the house, she does absolutely everything. So,
I mean, think about how much better off the kids are too, to be able to like, if you're able to stay. I said, think about how much better off the kids are when their mom is able to stay home with them all day while you go to work. You know?
Yep.
Dude, I don't know about you guys, but if I get to have kids, that has to happen. That has to happen because I am not having my kids go through public school. Like, it's so bad. We all went through public school, but like, I'm not with it.
I get it. I don't think Catholic school is necessarily the answer, you know. But what is she? You better marry a smart woman.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. Jay Blade says, my sister-in-law and my brother had a kid, no maternal instincts at all, and sadly, I feel that's the case with most women today. I feel that, it's kind of sad to say, but Gen X did the baby boomers did such a bad job raising their kids that Gen X screwed us millennials up, so that now we can't even fathom what Gen Z is doing.
You know what it is too? I think, when I say back in the day, like I have a stepmother, bro, these people who go to concerts, they party like rock stars, but at a certain point they knew, all right, it's time to wrap up this lifestyle and get with the program and raise my children.
Yeah, no, nowadays women are staying single till 37, 38, 39
40 years old. They're still going out to the club.
Exactly. They're still at the clubs. Settle down whenever, have a kid at 42. Little do they know that's actually a medical emergency. Yeah, they think they're entitled to it because they haven't found Mr. Right yet, whatever the hell that means. They've probably dumped every guy on the planet.
You're never gonna find them in the club, though. I'll tell you that much.
Exactly. That's the point.
You're
That's
looking in the wrong places.
And Ronnie, I don't know if you've ever been to Miami. I know Justin has. Miami's a microcosm with everything that is wrong in society.
Yeah,
Okay?
but it's fun. You know
It's
what I
hella
mean? So
fun.
it's like,
Yeah, it's
it's
hella
like
fun. But
drinking.
nobody knows when to quit. That's the problem.
Well, you have that place over there, right? What is it, Club Live or Live or something like that?
Oh, there's a ton of them.
Yeah,
Live,
But
Story,
they're open like
11.
all day. People are stepping out of the club at 9
Club
in the morning,
Space.
10 in the morning.
Yeah, Club 11 is open 24 hours. Club
That's
Space opens till like
insane.
10 a.m.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, that's Miami, man. Literally party all night.
There's nobody telling you, all right, party's over.
Nope.
Bro, I guess I'm just old. I'd go out and be like, how do people party till 10 in the morning? It's 10 at night and I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's more of an age thing. Like when I hit 34, I was like, dude, it's 11:30. Y'all can keep partying. I'm going home.
Justin's telling tales right now. We were out till freaking 3:30 in the morning the other night.
Yeah, he's actually right. He's actually right.
No, but once in a while you could do it, but it's very hard.
Yeah, exactly. But I was out till midnight the other night at a party, and I got home. I was exhausted. But
And he's not even lying. That was literally 2 nights ago.
yeah, but I know Justin better than that. Justin can't stay up. He can't keep that up for a week like we used to. I used to keep that up for weeks at a time.
I didn't wake up till 11 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I'm too old, man.
I'm used to getting up at 3:30 in the morning. I know Justin's used to getting up early. Like sleeping into 10, 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, bro, I felt terrible.
So, number one tip on becoming a traditional man, become older. You'll go to bed earlier. You'll work a routine.
Be an old man at 30. You'll be all right.
Well, having responsibilities. Wiz Khalifa had a comment a while back that I always liked. He said, I used to think staying up late and drinking was cool till I found out going to bed and waking up early is real bullshit.
Seriously.
Yeah. You'd be very hard pressed to find one of these billionaires. Mind you, they each have their problems, but Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, JP Morgan, whoever, throughout history that didn't wake up like at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the removal of religion has a lot to do with the
Absolutely.
loss of?
Yeah,
absolutely.
It does. And I'm not a religious person, but I see the value of religion in raising a traditional society. Absolutely.
Yeah, when you're not an extremist, it could really work, you know.
Even if you're not really religious and your family just has some kind of faith, I think morally you'll live not to go out there and cheat and do dirty and be a grimy person. Like,
it acts as a good guardrail for life, you know, of keeping you on the road.
You guys are breaking up real quick, but in the meantime, while your signal fixes up, Jay Blaze says, Joel, look up the mouse utopia experiment. I've actually know about that experiment, Jay, and it was an experiment, correct me if I'm wrong, where these mice were put into like a closed location or pen or whatever, and they were essentially given everything, and they all became fat, lazy, and they stopped procreating, and they all died out within like 6 generations, I think it was. They pretty much died out. So that's actually a pretty good microcosm of what we're talking about here. Ronnie, I think I got Ronnie back. He looks like he's moving down. They're doing some laundry, and I think I got Justin back. All good, brother. All good.
Trying to be stable.
We got to set up Ronnie a little studio, Justin. You got to go take care of that for him.
See, Ronnie's living a modern relationship as a traditional man.
How does that work? Explain that one.
So I think there's a balance nowadays to be a traditional man with a modern woman, or like, I wouldn't call your girl like a typical modern woman, but she's a working woman.
Yeah.
Like, you have to share the responsibilities. Like Ronnie's girl, Ronnie comes home from work. I don't know his day to day, but I do know that your girl cooks dinner and you'll clean it up. Like, you share responsibilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but
absolutely not.
You know what it was though, because Justin knows more than anybody. Growing up and having chores was a major key of like how you're gonna live as an adult. Dude, a
Absolutely.
lot
I
of these
don't
kids
think.
don't have chores anymore.
Nope.
Bro, if I'd ask Ronnie about my chores,
If
I don't
those
wanna
chores
know
weren't done, woo. But thank God, I'm sure in hindsight, you're like, wow, that, you're appreciative of it. Because I know
bro,
I am.
how would I keep my last place?
No,
Jay
spotless.
you
Blaze
saw.
says. Jay Blaze says the similarities between that, meaning the Mouse Utopia experiment, and modern living is terrifying. It's actually really interesting. I suggest you both and anybody listening go look up the Mouse Utopia experiment. It is really, really interesting,
I'll check that
and
out.
and you'll see the similarities between society today and this experiment that they did. It's crazy. It's
Do you think
really,
there's
really good
just too many options?
for dating or
Yeah.
for what?
For
I
dating?
think,
No,
yeah.
they got lazy. What happened was the mice were put into this pen or whatever, and they were given all their food. They didn't have to work for anything. So eventually, first they started mating a lot with each other, but they, generationally they became so fat and so lazy because they were literally given all their food. They didn't have to hunt. They didn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
They
it just
became
goes
so
to
fat
show
and lazy
you.
that they stopped procreating.
It just goes to show you what convenience does to a society. Like
Exactly.
everything is built to be convenient for us, which makes us like useless.
That's
Absolutely right.
interesting.
Yeah, look it up, Justin. Trust me, you'll be shocked by all of it. Let's see here through the chat. Jay Blaze said, okay, no, we've seen that one already. All right, let me see if we have any more YouTube shorts to look at here. We do have these long form videos, Justin. You sent me one with a timestamp of 103, so let's look at that. And this one's from a Cynthia Lowinen or something. Let's see here. How to become a traditional wife. Okay, interesting. Now, hang on, because correct me if I'm wrong here, but there's a premise here. This assumes that you can turn a hoe into a housewife. Am I wrong? Because you're either a traditional woman or you're not. You can't turn yourself into one. Can you?
I don't know. Do we have any examples?
Well, I don't know. Let's see what this lady says.
Yeah.
In our society. Now, the term traditional wife has honestly been demonized in our society, and I have never actually met somebody in this movement. I've been a part of it for the past couple of years that actually believes any of the things that we are seeing in mainstream media about us. Although I live a primarily housewife homemaker lifestyle, and I've been very vocal about it on this channel, I do want to acknowledge that there are different ways that you can become a traditional wife. It doesn't necessarily have to fit the stereotypical mold of the 1950s housewife. In fact, there are many women who perhaps work part-time or for a family business that would consider themselves traditional women. The purpose behind this message and this movement is to encourage women to live more of a home-centered lifestyle if that is something that they want. Women these days have been pushed into becoming boss babes, into validating their worth through their economic output, as you have seen me mentioned in countless videos in the past. Women feel as though they are stuck, as if they don't have any options. And this is the reason why myself, as well as other women on the internet, have come out and have exclaimed that they live a more traditional lifestyle, because we really, truly want to give you the tools to be able to achieve your life dream.
Okay. I don't disagree with her, but the problem here, I think, when a woman is going through, let's say, her teens and her 20s, and she's forging the identity of the mother she will become, let's say, in her 30s. I think a lot of that, because we all know sex is very, very, very emotional and very meaningful for women. The more sexual partners she has, say at a 4-year college or living as a boss babe, the harder it is going to be to become that traditional woman. 3-4 years after doing this transition or whatever it is,
you get lost in the sauce.
Exactly. She gets lost. She's going to become depressed. Then she starts taking antidepressants, blah, blah, blah. And we all know how that story ends. So
now that women are being propelled to be empowered by their body and be liberated with their body.
When no, they should be jealous with their body. They should be guarded with their body.
Absolutely.
That's how you become a traditional woman.
Absolutely. And
Crux of it.
just that behavior alone is gonna in turn
Yes.
change the behavior of men.
That is the number one
Absolutely.
thing that needs to happen is women need to become less promiscuous.
But they need to be led by example. So if their mother's promiscuous, what do you think is going to happen to them?
Agreed, 1000%. And that's where
And having a strong father in the household too, because
yes, that's where
you
I
know
was
he's
going.
not playing that game of you stepping out the house looking all, you know.
Well, I have a date. I'm going to drop you off with your grandparents. Exactly. I know exactly where you're going.
No,
That's
but I'm
where I
saying
was
too,
going.
like, you know, you having a strong father in the house and your daughter is 17 years old and she's stepping out of the house looking really promiscuous. Like that's not going to fly.
No, that ain't going to fly. Oh, wow. Women are more guarded to their own money than to their own body. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Today money is a priority over the integrity of their body. Women don't realize that they are biologically more valuable than men.
I agree. I said it before. They give birth to all of us. Like, I'm sorry, men, we can take all the credit for creating everything around us and everything you see, but what good is it if there's no one to build it? We need
100%.
people.
There's no one to build for at that point. All right, let's keep going with this one. Let's see where this lady takes us. Cynthia.
There are countless women out there telling you how you can have it all and how you can balance a career as well as family. But there aren't as many advocates for women who want to live a more home-centered life. And
not only are there not advocates, it's actually demonized by a lot of the radical feminists.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. And it needs to be advocated.
Celebrated. It needs to be celebrated.
100%.
No. But instead, I hear a record the other day, and you know what sucks? Because I actually I don't know if it was Doja Cat and somebody else. But bro, I come across a record, and I like Doja. But then I hear this. I like some of her. I like her flow and delivery.
She's working with the devil, though.
Exactly. But as far as the lyrical content, it's horrendous. Like, I heard this record, and it was like, it's pussy talk, pussy talk, pussy talk. And I'm like, bro, what the hell are we teaching?
Is it worse than Cardi B?
Bro, it's just...
It's all orchestrated, though. Is
that the lady that does that song that's trending right now? Like, give me one tequila, whatever.
Dude, her music is trending everywhere. Her music is trending everywhere.
There needs to be more artists like Lauryn Hill guiding, you know, women. I think.
I'm sorry, I'm really not up on the music,
but self-respecting. I'm saying.
I don't know. I think there needs to definitely be more positive role models within the entertainment community. And unfortunately, you guys know I made it into the entertainment industry, and they are purposely promoting this garbage that's out there.
Absolutely.
Purposely. Yeah, I've gone to them with timeless records, with amazing content, and they'll just show me straight trash. And it's just promoting more and more trash behavior out there. And that's what they want.
Well, you don't hear anymore. Like, if you listen to like Sam Cooke or like say a Leon Bridges, it's more about being in love and like being with your woman, or like Otis Redding, you know what I mean? There was meaning there. Now it's all talking about running around and being loose.
Let's bring it back full circle, Ronnie, to what you were saying about leading by example. This type of, let's call it trashy music.
Yo, let's blow us up.
Yeah, these trashy lyrics were actually pioneered by men. When you think back to the early or mid 90s, early 2000s hip hop, everything was about bitches, drugs, and stealing and murder. Everything.
It goes back to our generation. I mean, Uchi Wally Wally, Uchi Bang Bang. Come on, bro.
I remember I bought a Master P record one time. It had a song literally called "Murder, Murder, Murder, Kill, Kill, Kill."
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are we doing?
I mean, I could play devil's advocate, because they had the song "Run Around Sue" back in what, like the 50s or 60s.
Sure.
But you know
But
what it was?
those were
It's
very
like,
few and far between. It wasn't
Yeah,
the entire industry.
that was a
our
jam.
stuff when we were kids, our stuff was still way more censored than it
Yeah,
is nowadays.
absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
way more censored.
It's gotten progressively worse. I don't
Right,
think
you
a
can
record.
watch daytime television and a child can see some gay stuff and some curses, and it's
I
Well, look,
remember.
Twilight Zone.
let me bring this up though. Now you just struck a chord in my mind. We just had the Pride Parade or whatever in New York City, and I'm like, bro, that's child abuse or child endangerment. I think if you're bringing your children to these type of things,
Is that the
you
one where
know,
they were shouting, "We're coming for your kids"?
yeah, but
I saw that.
it's all heavily sexualized too. Like,
Yeah,
bro, you got
everything.
guys walking around with nothing on. Like, bro, this is not a place for children,
I
and
just
it
saw
shouldn't.
something before. There's kids sitting down on the curb, and there's a grown man in his tidy whities
Yeah,
with his junk going up and down, twerking in front of the kids. And they're
bro, he
like,
looked like he was like 50, 60 years old.
you guys saw that? Why is that
Yeah.
okay?
It's terrible, but that
It's
should
not
be
okay.
you should be charged with like child endangerment or something.
You know what? I
Dude.
firmly believe New
If you brought
York's
your
gonna
son to a
collapse.
strip club, bro, you would
Child,
be
yeah,
your kid would be taken away in a heartbeat.
absolutely.
What's the
I
difference?
really think New York's gonna collapse. The pandemic, I don't think is the only reason New Yorkers are fleeing.
It's a cancer.
Yeah, yeah. New York. I mean, it's unsustainable.
It's terrible.
I don't
I don't
know.
even
I've
know.
always lived on the coast, and I've traveled, to the other coast. I've never done Middle America. I went to Texas, but I went to Houston, huge city. But honestly, man, I've never been to Middle America. But I'm so curious to the country life because I
I mean,
feel like they probably
I
have it
lived
so
it
much
for
better.
I lived it for a little bit, and
I can tell you guys, I lived there for a long time. I've lived in Georgia. I've lived in Texas. I lived in Arizona. Well, Arizona, not so much Midwestern.
Would you guys say society is more traditional or just
I've
Yes.
never
better?
been more happy in my life than when I was living upstate New York. It was such a more simplistic life, and it was, people want to make fun of like say rednecks or whatever or hicks that live up in the sticks, but they go to work, they come home to their wife, they eat together. It's so much more
They
traditional,
live a
and
humble life.
yeah,
Even a town like Savannah, Georgia, which has like 17 colleges in a 5-mile radius, it's really a lot more subdued than what you would think, or whatever you can find, say, in Miami or in New York in this case, or even Atlanta, that's 3 hours away from there. Life in Middle America is, I don't want to say vastly different because they still get influenced by everything. The cities get influenced,
of
but
course.
there's not as many people encouraging that public behavior. Which is why, if you put all these things up to referendums and votes in the Midwest and Texas and in Ohio, it would lose massively.
Yeah, but the things
Teaching.
going on today is just a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. But guys, we are at an hour, so let's do final thoughts. You are watching the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. Jay Blaze, if you're the only one here, hit that damn like button. Anybody else watching, hit the damn like button. I went on my phone. You too. Go on your phones, hit the like button. I did it. So let's do final thoughts. Ronnie, what are your final thoughts for the night, brother?
I would say, more people should try to be a mensch and like take pride in your relationships and your loved ones. Slow down a bit. It's take a look around. You're going too fast.
Absolutely. Justin, what you got?
Seriously, I definitely think people should be more guarded and view their bodies as being sacred and really think about their future and what it might be like to end up alone, possibly, and
You
not
need
have children.
self-respect.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I will
Y'all
end
need
it with-
Jesus.
Canceled.
Yeah,
Canceled.
dude, that's gonna get us canceled. Man. I will end it with, I don't even know what to end it with anymore. When you're on your deathbed, you're not gonna be judged by your body count. You're not gonna be judged by how much money you made. You're gonna be judged by those people around you and how
legacy.
and how impactful you were in their lives. How good of an example you were to them. Kyle 2020 joining the chat. Yes, Kyle, this is my channel. What's going on, Kyle? You caught us here at the end. We are about to log off. But yeah, monogamy, like we said, is a social construct. I think it's a good social construct where society took us from the, where we are now. But yeah, especially women, you gotta, like Justin said, you gotta be more guarded with your bodies. That alone will do a lot. So hopefully, at least one person gets something out of this, and we can get back to a more traditional men
society.
Not even society, just the balance between men and women. If we can become more traditional, a traditional couple will find more solutions among themselves than, like, say, a city couple. Let's call it a city couple who's gonna run off to marriage counseling the first time they have a fight, and that's gonna get that guy, the man, canceled and zeroed out, and it's gonna, he's gonna end up watching red pill content. So it's on both men and women to do this, to do their part to be more traditional.
Seriously.
We are going to end it with that, episode 36 of
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you, Ronnie, for coming on.
Ronnie.
This is the show where we tell you everything your father should have taught you. Jonathan Major's favorite new podcast, episode 36 of J&J Dating Dynamics. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That's going to do it. Peace.